Hey everybody, Motorpoet59 here. You ever notice that people tend to become what they think they are? And by that I mean that people who think they're sick all the time tend to be sick all the time. Uh, they seem to be able to convince themselves that they're actually sick, and the next thing you know, they're going to the doctor and they've got a box full of pills, and I think they're going to the wrong kind of doctors. People who think they're tired all the time tend to end up being tired all the time. And it starts out with, I'm kind of tired, I'm going to go lay down. And then it's, I'm so tired, I can't get up. And the next thing you know, they're sleeping all the time. They come home from work, they lay down and go to sleep, they sleep until it's time to go to work again, or whatever it is that they get up and do. I truly believe that people can convince themselves that they are whatever it is. And I'm not generally like that. I'm an active guy, even though I have some physical problems. I mean, I'm not disabled or anything, but I have some very distracting physical problems. I have a lot of joint issues from old injuries, but I try not to let that define my life. I stay active, I go do things, I play golf, go shoot videos, just go fiddle farting around. I try to stay active. Since I've retired, I try to go do something, at least before this whole COVID thing came along. I try to go do something every day. If I have 10 things on my list to do, I always make sure that I don't do all those things in one day. So I always have something left to do the next day. Then something will come up that day. It was a good plan for me. It always gave me something to get up, get out of the house, and go do. Of course, there are times that I just felt like sitting around and scratching my butt and not doing anything, watching old movies. And that's okay to do every once in a while, but it's not okay to do all the time, because the next thing you know, all I would be doing is sitting around, scratching my butt, watching old movies. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to become that sedentary person that just sits around and comfort eats, and the next thing you know, I weigh 600 pounds. But all that being said, I have noticed over the last 2 weeks that I'm falling into that pattern because of the COVID shutdowns. There's nowhere to go. One of the things I always did every weekday morning was get up at 5:30 and go down and meet my buddy Don at Tina Marie's Cafe downtown, and we would have coffee. And I can't do that. But that always got me going in the morning, and I always enjoyed the fact that, we usually left, he's still working, so he'd have to get out of there around 7 or so, and after that I would go take care of a few pieces of business, go to the store if I need to, and I'd get home at 9:30 or 10 o'clock in the morning, having already accomplished quite a bit for one day. I would go have coffee with him, then I'd go out to North Kern on Thursday mornings and meet some friends of mine and play golf out there. Whatever it was, I always had something to do. And I just haven't had that to do, And on top of that, my shoulder started bothering me again, so I can't physically do a lot of things, but that doesn't mean that I couldn't go do things that wouldn't require me to, like going to the dump or things like that. But I have noticed that I'll catch myself at noon, having not done anything but maybe make breakfast, thinking, there's nowhere to go. I just don't think I'll do this errand X because, this, I get that thought process going, or say like planning something the next day. I think I'll go play golf tomorrow, or I think I'll go do whatever tomorrow. And having woken up that morning thinking I was going to go maybe do this, that, or the other, after I eat, just kind of sitting down and thinking, this ain't open, or that. If I go here, I'm going to have to wait in line, and I really don't want to do that. And the next thing you know, it's 5 o'clock, and I haven't done a damn thing except sit around and start feeling tired. The more I sit around, the more my shoulder bothers me. I've noticed that when I go out and do things, and I've mentioned this in other videos, the more I go out and do things, the better it feels. I don't know if it's honestly feels better, or if I'm just distracted from the fact that it's bothering me so much. But I can still play golf. It's a little uncomfortable, but I can do it. And I catch myself doing the night before thinking, oh, I'm going to go play golf tomorrow. I'm just going to go play golf tomorrow. And then I get up and it's like, if I go out there, if I either have to go by myself, I'll call somebody, and we have to ride in separate carts, and there's this, and the grill's not open, and I can't get a Coke, and my shoulder hurts, and I'm tired, and or if I want to go shoot videos or something, I'm going to get up tomorrow and go shoot videos. And I get up and I start thinking, well, one of the things I like to do when I go, whatever I go do, I like to eat. I like to get a hamburger or a hot dog or whatever. And I'll tell myself, restaurants are closed. It's only takeout. I don't like eating out of the styrofoam containers. I want to sit down and have a meal. And next thing I know, it's 5 o'clock, and I'm sitting around whining about how tired I am and how much my shoulder hurts. I'm allowing this whole shutdown thing to affect me mentally like that. And like I said, I'm a pretty strong-willed guy, and I'm a pretty active guy. And if this is affecting me like this, I just can't imagine how it's affecting people who aren't as strong-willed as I am, or who aren't as active as I am. And for those people who already had that lifestyle of being sedentary and convinced themselves they were sick or tired, and some people really are, whatever, I get it. But this probably hasn't had much of an effect on them. They never go anywhere or do anything anyway. But for people like me, it's been a bother. It has been a problem. It's affecting me, and I don't like it. I just kind of wanted to make this video to remind people not to think yourself into a corner, not to think yourself into being a couch potato or bedridden or whatever. Keep your mind about you, keep your wits about you when you start to feel depressed or anxious or whatever. I mean, I've been a real dickhead to my family lately, and I've found myself apologizing for my behavior a couple of times just in the last week. And fortunately, it's just my wife and my youngest daughter now, and they know it's not personal. They know what's going on with me, and I try not to carry that on all day. And if it's happening to you, make sure you're aware of that. And if you need to talk to your family and apologize to them for being a dick or a bitch, you should do that. Make sure they understand that it's not about them, that it's about you. And you'll get through it. You'll all get through it. They just kind of ignore me when I do that, and I'm glad. I'm glad they know me that well and love me that much. But anyway, I don't know. What do you think? Maybe I'm all wet. Like, share, subscribe, click on the bell if you want to be notified of future content. And everybody stay thinking good thoughts. Stay thinking wellness. Stay thinking activity. And stay thinking things are going to get better. All right. See y'all later.